I'll still say any aid that aids is a good aid, be it Gatorade. Sometimes I think an alligator on the backside might make it go up. And that's the way we really do. We give ourselves such heavy bites and fights, we eventually let go and go back home. I don't want you to think I'm putting down the aids that help you. If you need an external aid and it helps, use it. When you understand that external help, then you'll move above it. Now there's no giving up anything on this path. We're at the bottom. There's only one thing we can give up.
The bottom.
And from here on, it's got to be bottoms up. There is no giving up as you go free. There is a tremendous taking on of more and more and more until eventually you have the all. First you'll see every person as yourself, then you'll see everything as yourself, then you'll see the whole universe as you. And once you are the all, there's nothing you need. There's no more desire, no more attachment, no more aversion, and you're free. And as I said, the world won't disappear for you. It's like an oasis on a desert. You see water. You even see trees growing around it. But when you go over to it, you discover it was an illusion. It's just sand. Now you walk once you go free, you'll walk the desert, you'll still see that oasis. With this difference, you won't go there to drink. And this is what you need to learn about the world. Stop going there to drink. You just get drunk. Stop looking to the world for your joy. Look to yourself for all the joy, because that's the only joy there is. When you're having happiness, anything pleasurable, any joy, it's only because you've quieted the mind for that desire. And when your mind is quiet, you're being your beingness. That's the only happiness you can ever experience. Discover that for yourself. Stop chasing those rainbows. You've been doing it for millions of years already. And you now have a choice to go on enjoying over eons. It'll take you eons to do this. Or you could go from here right back home to the top. This is the advantage of being at the bottom. You're close to the top. You're closest to the top of any area there. The heaviness, the incrustation, the binds that we have put upon ourselves, and we never forget really what we are so heavy. The desire to break out of the bondage is so great we can go straight up this way. From this state of being in a physical body, we can go all the way home in a matter of months or less. The fact that very few people do it does not make it true that you cannot. When any one of you decides to so do it, so be it. When you decide you want freedom more than you want anything else, You can do it in months. You don't even have to discover the how-to. You've already got it. No feelings. The mind goes quiet, and that's it. I think the main reason why you're not going all the way is a subconscious fear of dying if I go free. Now, this subconscious fear of dying is actually the fear of losing your ego. The ego does die. The sense that I am this limited body Lester dies. But in place of it comes something infinitely better. Your whole purpose for coming here is to discover this free being that you are. Everything you do is moving in that direction, but looking for it where it isn't. It is not external. It's not in more money, more playmates. It is in you discovering what you really are, unlimited free beingness. And that you set up the whole world as you see it. There is nothing out there but your picture. And we superimpose our picture on the same space that others superimpose their pictures. And each one of us is seeing only our picture. But this fear of going free is the fear of losing the ego sense. Now what happens after you lose your ego sense is simply the body moves around, but you know the body for what it is. What used to be the all of me turns out to be the least of me. One infinitesimal speck of me is this body. Because I'm omnipresent, not just in this spot. Every one of us is everywhere present. All the time focusing in on a little body, saying, I am this little body. Trying to keep the body surviving forever. Who succeeds in keeping the body surviving forever? You see how stupid it is? We see the bodies dying all the time. We are dying every day. We are struggling for survival every day. It's an absolute no-win direction. We see it. By the way, Wendy's is a good place to eat. Why? On a table they have ads from the 1800s. I was looking at it yesterday, and they do the same voodoo things that we do. How to keep from going bald, singe your hair. They have all these odd singe. They have all these unusual ways of healing the body and etc., that we use now, put different names on it, call them wonder drugs, and you wonder why. But it shows you, it should give you a sense of the impermeability of everything, because everything you're reading about, and they give you addresses in, if you live in New York City, that you've been around and very close to, and you know it's not there now, the things you're reading. It shows you the impermanency of everything. I'm trying to shake you loose of your life hold on a body. Give it its just due, and spend your time releasing, going free. And if you really like the body that much, you can make it go on as long as you want to. You can make it as youthful as you want to also. There are some rare beings who stay at the age of around 18, 20 all their life. Our friends on our nearby planets, most of them look 16, 18, as high as 20. Very few look older than that. And they're 1,000 to 2,000 years old. We can do the same thing. But in the process of breaking free of the body, learn that you're in control of the body. It's only your thought. But use this. Heal the body instantly. Walk over red-hot coals and don't get burned. Tom Bell was in town here some weeks ago and took a group over burning coals. You can do that and much, much more. Get rid of your shackles. It'll start you. Going through this. It'll free you from being bound into the physical body. You could walk on hot coals and then walk on water and things like that. You're beginning to transcend the physical body. You're going to need this. This morning I was reading breakfast in the bakery down here, a Christian Science newspaper, on all the hows and wherefores of nuclear attack, how to stop it, and if you don't get it the first 5 minutes, the next 20 are most important, but the last 2 minutes on the way down goes on and on. This is Christian Science. Explaining the best ways to stop a nuclear attack. I'm giving you a way now. Discover that you're the creator of the body. You could walk through a nuclear explosion and it wouldn't touch you. You could put your hand in fire and it wouldn't burn you. You might need these things in this decade. As they talk about undoing these nuclear things, they multiply them, not only in numbers but in ability. You see the direction. Stop wasting time. Release the ag flap. Go free. You're going to do it anyway, even if it takes you 1,000,000 years. Why not now? You've got the method. No more wanting approval or control. Freeze the mind enough so you can dig down into the number 1 program, wanting to survive as a body, fear of dying. You pull that out, you're free. You pull that out, the little remaining garbage you can dump so easily, and then you'll just remain as you really are. You'll be out of the struggle. Boy, if I got this power to walk over hot coals, I got the power to teleport. I got the power to at least arrange my life so I don't have to struggle anymore. In that sense, it could help. If I can walk on hot coals, can I arrange my life ideally? Of course you got that power. Powers do not free us. The experience of people who get interested in them is that they get stuck in powers. Now, powers are just working the world shortcut, that's all. Powers are inherently yours. All the power there is in the universe is yours. All the powers are yours right now. But if you show yourself one of them, it might encourage you to show yourself another one and another one, and then you start unshackling. You might let go of all the powers and just be. There's a lot of people do miracles and they're not aware of it, because when they do it, it's so easy and concentrated. They get back into the world, they don't even remember it. Like these old ladies lifting cars and kids lifting automobiles. The emergency concentrates them. They're on one thing, totally concentrated. I gotta lift that car off my friend or relative. With no doubt, they just lift it. I just got a funny picture when I was living on Central Park South. I'm getting in the elevator and the operator is a very strong man. He just can't open a bottle, a cap. And I look at him and I said, I'll do it for you. And I took it. I just, with a little twist, I took the thing off and gave it to him. It's all thought. He used to stare at me every time I went up and down that. That was something peculiar to him. And when you identify with your beingness, you recognize the only thing that is your beingness being all beingness. That's the only absolute truth that never ever changes. Everything else changes because it's untrue. If a thing is true, it's true forever. If it changes, it wasn't true the moment before. So everything changing is not true. It's an illusion created by us. But try to remember, as you let go, you don't give up anything, you take on more. Who got more miserable from releasing? Anybody? You might think so, because as you free yourself of the heaviest, or as you free yourself as the thing that's right on the surface now, it uncovers more that's deeper. And you might attribute the deeper vision to the releasing the heavier, subtle thing right on top now. And the more you release, the more sensitized you become. So whatever you feel more so. Because before you were blinding yourself to feeling it. You were driving it down in the mind, making it subconscious. And so when you make it conscious, you're aware of it, and it feels as though it's something new coming up. But it was always there. So you might have a thought that, gee, I'm getting worse. I never felt so sharply. But you'll discover that you don't remain nearly as long in that heavy state as you did before. Even though you'll feel it more so, you'll feel it for a far shorter period of time. Take responsibility for everything you feel and experience. If this is my heavy desire for this thing that I want so much, who's dominant, it or me? Does the desire come to you in a body and tell you I am in power over you? No. So take responsibility. Whose desire is this? At least it'll put you in a position where you can, if you choose, release that desire totally and never be bothered by it again. For me, it's a terrible thing to teach that Jesus died for our sins. If he died for our errors, we don't have to correct them. No, he died to prove immortality, to show us the way to immortality is to die to the physical body. Then you'll get your immortality. That's just a misinterpretation of some of the leaders in religion who did not understand. The Pope is for hope. He goes down to South America, and there's the people down at the bottom. He gives them hope. My thinking is they'd be better off without it. Then they either have to sink or swim. The hope keeps us going on and on and on in the misery. Yet, from a certain space, of course, hope is good. No hope, you die. But take responsibility. When you're enough in want, you let go of it and be in affluence. I, the self, create the mind that has the want. So who's responsible? I think it's good to emphasize the KISS theory. Keep it simple. A wish for the rest of me to go free, which is everyone. Plus, before you come in, you make certain decisions, and you'll carry them out. Before you're born, you see your whole life ahead of you, and you make good decisions, good strong decisions, and you carry them through. As I said before, when you go free, there's one of two things you'll do. You'll just isolate for the period of the body, or you'll come back and help the rest of the people do what you did. The majority of people just leave. Why? This is an illusion. A very small minority come back, and they're the Christs, the Buddhas, etc. For all you know, I might just not be anything I'm saying. How do you know? Only by doing it to yourself will you know it takes one to know one. All the time, putting your thoughts out to protect the body. Not for one moment taking a look-see at that beauty that you discovered. Not for one moment would you look at it, because all the time you were struggling for survival. And it keeps your mind busy all the time. See, as your mind gets quiet, you begin to see the beauty, the perfection. So the mind is the enemy. We have to quiet it. Every thought is a thing of limitation. So the best state is a no-thought state. When you quiet your mind, you just come from your knowingness. You operate intuitively. See, theoretically you can do it like that. I am not the mind, out, finish. No one does it. Now, I spent a year trying to think up a shortcut, a one-shot way of going free. See, we all have accumulated the encrustation of the mind, and we need to undo it. And it's so heavy, there's so much there, that we go along with it. But should you make a decision, enough of that mind, then you can do it weeks, months, because then all your desire focuses in on the desire to rid yourself of the mind, and you just keep releasing all the time, all day long, even though you're with people. You've probably experienced the state where it comes up and floats out, comes up and floats out. It's got to get to that point, really. There's so much of it. Releasing occasionally helps. But if you want to get it all out, a huge accumulation, it's got to be constant. It's in the 6 steps. You got to make it constant. And all day long it's floating up and out. You see the feeling and you see it release. It's sort of like sitting back and watching the show go on. People who have let go of a long-time habit of smoking, I've always got them to first accept that it's okay to smoke. Now that's hard for them to do. It's much harder for them to accept that it's okay to smoke than it is to let go of smoking. You can apply that to yourself. You see, like, put it on the smoking. If it's not right to smoke, I'm taken up with it's not right to smoke. So much I can't even begin to think of letting go of smoking. I'm fighting the fact that it's not good to smoke, and people say so, and even I know so. It might give me emphysema. So we must. It's so much easier to release when you first accept, and then you can let go.